Hello everybody, welcome back to Nintendo Flips. My name is Jens and we're back at it again buying used games, systems, accessories, action figures, whatever we can find to build that 3DS collection back there or any of these other collections that we have going on. And we just came back from this amazing trip to the US, which was a very short trip, but nonetheless, it was still fun to see my friends, family, and get to hang out, even if it was just for about 8 days all together. Went home to go ahead and take care of some paperwork that I needed. So that was a very quick turnaround. I'm still kind of jet lagged, trying to defeat that jet lag here, but yeah, it's not going too good. It was hard when I got there to kind of get settled in very quickly, but yep, we're trying to do the same thing here. And anyways guys, we picked up a bunch of really cool stuff, but before we get into that, I went home and took a bunch of stuff that I had here bundled up, which you can see my last video. I'll go ahead and post it up there somewhere. Just a bunch of amazing stuff that I had. Somewhere the value of all that stuff was around, it's about 12,000 on Mercari, on price charting, and plus some things that I didn't have on there. So I think altogether maybe I took about $15,000 worth of stuff to flip. And I believe according to price charting, it was about 4,500 on price charting, plus all those loose games, which is another 1,000 I would say, so 5,500, and then maybe some action figures that I took that I paid about 500. So we're just gonna give it a round number of $6,000 of invested into all that merchandise. A lot of it has sold already. I think that we have sold quite a bit on eBay. I think we're somewhere around maybe the $7,000 on eBay. But again, remember you have like the taxes and then all the fees from eBay. So I think we're at about 5,500 on profit. And then on Mercari, we're about 1,000 after fees and everything on profit. So we have already made all the money that we invested into that collection. So everything else is profit that we're gonna be able to go ahead and use to buy all kinds of things. And what I'm gonna do is just kind of hold on to that profit because I wasn't able to pick up a lot of things. I was there for such a short time that I was only able to visit a few stores and just pick up things that some of my friends had collected for me. And these are the items that we're gonna add to the collection. So since this is still focusing on the 3DS collection, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and go over some of the cool low tier 3DS games that we picked up. Most of these came from GameStop, and these are games that we do need in our collection. As you know, GameStop is picking up retro games again. They are buying them. So a lot of them had tons of 3DS games, but a lot of them had no cases or missing manuals or something. And what I'm trying to do is build the complete collection. And the games have to be complete in the box with the manuals or whatever it had in there. So let's go ahead and get into that really quick here. First game we picked up is the Hobbit, Lego Hobbit. Stop focusing. This one here, I don't have it. It is complete in the box. I don't remember what I paid for most of these, but I think this one was about $10. Plus I have the GameStop membership, so it was like $5 off. So that one definitely going into the collection. Green Lantern, I had already picked this one up before, but you know, somebody had bundled a bunch of games together and they were like, take all the games if you want the other two. So I got an extra copy of the Green Lantern. We'll go ahead and flip that one. We got Young Justice, already have this one in the collection. Another one that was part of that bundle, we'll go ahead and flip it. This one here I didn't have, picked it up, Duck Dynasty. I think it was about $12 at a store in El Paso. And this one here, also at the same store, picked it up, F1 Formula Racing, I guess. This one here was about 20 something dollars, I believe 25. And then this one was part of a bundle, the one that asked me to make sure that I buy those games. Beyblade, complete in the box. I think it was about 4 or 5 games that I bought for about 30 something dollars. And this was one of them needed for the collection. This one as well, we needed for the collection, Brunswick Pro Bowling. So going towards our collection. Bravely Second, I don't have this one. So this one I picked up from our local, in El Paso, there was like a D&D shop and they do carry some games. So they had this one, picked it up for the collection. I think that was probably the most expensive game that I bought. And then Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, picked it up from the same shop. I think it was about $20 for this one. Picked it up, gonna add it to the collection. This one, picked it up from GameStop. This is Danger of the Ooze, still has that GameStop sticker in the back there. So that was complete in the box. Planes, this one, I believe my friend picked it up for me, Disney Planes. I don't remember what he paid for it, but I just kind of traded some games with him. And this one here, what is this? Phineas and Ferb, Quest for Cool Stuff. So that was my quest when I went back home, picking up a bunch of cool things, and this was one of them. And then this one I picked up for about $8, Goosebumps, the game. I picked it up from that same shop, the D&D shop that carries games. So we didn't pick up a lot of games for the collection, guys. I'm not much I could do. I was very busy there, so I didn't have time to go anywhere. So maybe in the future I'm gonna change the way I kind of pick up games. I believe we got, what is it, 2, 4, 5, 10 games to add to our collection. So something is better than nothing. It's games that we can knock off from our collection, and these are some really interesting games. Again, nothing too crazy there. And yep, more games to add to our awesome collection. Besides that, guys, I did pick up a bunch of other things that my brothers were holding for me. And of course, the Super Mario movie, huge fan of the movie. I picked up the Best Buy steel case. And of course, the disc is loose. Most of the stuff from Best Buy always comes in with some sort of issue, whether they're torn or the games are loose or the movies are loose. So picked up that. This one here, I picked it up, Jedi Survivor, picked it up loose. I like the first one, so I'm really looking forward to playing that one. These are just gonna be a bunch of games that I bought. I bought this one some time back, Guardians of the Galaxy. It was just waiting for me at home. My brother played it. He really enjoyed that one. Picked up Ghost of Wire. I heard really good things about it. Again, GameStop, Best Buy steelbook cases. Those are always awesome to collect. And I got quite a few of these steelbook cases. One of my favorite series is Yakuza. So anything Yakuza, I'm definitely picking up. And again, with an awesome steelbook case from Best Buy. They tend to have some of the best steelbook cases. Resident Evil 4. Looking forward to playing this one. I beat all the remakes. This one is one of the ones that I never beat on the GameCube. I remember owning it. I just never got around to beating it. So another great game there to pick up. And then this one I already beat and played, but huge fan of Final Fantasy. So I wanted to go ahead and keep this one. And it comes with 2 steelbooks, one in this deluxe edition and then the one that Best Buy kind of gave out. So beat it, just adding it to the collection because I am a huge fan of Final Fantasy. So there's tons of games that I did pick up. And then my friend Edgar, he hooked me up with this one. I had the game, I needed the case. So he hooked me up with the case, and now I have a complete in-the-box Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So awesome to add to the collection, to all my Zelda stuff that I have. And this is one that he picked up really cheap, I believe, at either Pawn Shop or the Swap. And I traded him a game for this one of the mini games that I took, and it's in really good shape. And it's a game that I want to add because it's got Mario, and I'm a huge fan of Mario. So eventually I'll end up picking these up as I come across them. So yeah, a bunch of random stuff all over the place. And then he also hooked me up with some stuff. These are things that I maybe pre-ordered from him. My God, I got so much stuff everywhere, guys. And this here is the Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition. Yeah, I wanted this. He pre-ordered it from GameStop. So he got me this here. And now I can add it to my limited edition Switch that I got back there somewhere. So that was pretty awesome. And then we ended up just trading a bunch of really cool games with each other. He had a lot of awesome stuff, and he hooked it up. He gave me this one here, Fire Emblem Engaged. He had an extra copy, so that was really awesome of Edgar. Hooked me up with this one here, and yeah, I gave him some good games too that I took. So we benefit from each other. Again, it's just games, and these are some of my best friends that just trading games with each other, because these things are just gonna bring memories, and it's fun stuff to own, right? And then, let me put this, gotta carry a bunch of stuff over here. He got this from GameStop. I believe it's the, some sort of armband or something like that. And yeah, he got it from promotional material from GameStop, and that was pretty cool of him. I wasn't expecting that. But that wasn't all that he got. He got this from one of the managers at the GameStop, the Explorer's Scarf. The manager, he has a really good relationship with a lot of the store because he's always buying stuff. So he gave me this, so that was really cool because I am a huge fan of Zelda and I love having stuff like this. And I do have like another scarf, the one that came with the treasure box from Japan. So that's pretty cool. And then of course this one here that a lot of people are going after, the wooden plaque. from Tears of the Kingdom. So again, a lot of really cool stuff that I can add to my collection, and I was really happy about that. And just so much stuff. Another Yakuza game here. He picked this one up, I believe, at a swap meet for really cheap. And I told him, hey, don't sell it, I'll trade you something. And yeah, he held it for me. It's in excellent condition, complete in the box. So keeping that one for my Yakuza collection, which is just growing and growing. My friend Steve hooked me up with this Art of Mana book. So it looks really cool. I do have the Super Nintendo game in the back, Secret of Mana. So this is really cool to look into. I haven't opened it yet, haven't had time, but this is something that I do want to look at when I have time, so I can enjoy looking at that book. And yeah, just random stuff, guys, everywhere. And then there was a person who was selling a bunch of stuff. He lives here in China. He went home to the US, and then he just posted tons of games on a group chat that we are all in. It's a bunch of gamers here in Shanghai. And he just posted a humongous collection of just Game Boy, DS games, all kinds of amazing stuff. And there was so much stuff that I wanted to pick up, but I kind of had to limit myself at the time because I was about ready to go to the US. And I didn't want to spend too much, but I wanted to buy everything he had because he had stuff that is in such great condition. First one I picked up here, because huge fan of Final Fantasy, is Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls. And his games are complete. I'll put some video up here. They are complete. They have the manuals, everything, all the little inserts and everything, and they're in great shape. I asked him if these were his original games that he had when, the original game that he bought, actually, I'm sorry. And yeah, this is the original game he bought. And the saves that you'll see on here on the video, these are his original saves. So that was really cool. And I'm really glad that I got these games from him. I picked them up in a bundle. Which was really cool because he gave me a really good price for all these games that you're going to see. And this one here sells for about $100, complete in the box. And next one here is one of my favorite and my first Final Fantasy ever on the Super Nintendo is Final Fantasy 4 Advance, or Final Fantasy 2. This is one of my favorite ones because this is the first Super Nintendo game that I played from Square Enix, and it was an RPG. I had a love and hate relationship with this, and again in the video here you'll see it's complete in the box, in really good shape. I ordered some protectors for this so that I can go ahead and put them in the plastic sleeves so that the boxes don't get damaged. And yeah, I mean the save that you see on here again are his saves, original games that he bought, his saves. And it's just amazing to see how much time he put into all these games and the levels of his characters. And yeah, and that one, Final Fantasy 4, sells about $68, complete in the box. And then a surprise game that I've never heard of, game that he had on there, and I looked it up. It's an Atlas game, so I see Atlas, and I was like, well, you know what, it's gotta be a good game. Picked it up here. It's Shining Force, what is it, Resurrection of the Dark Dragon. And it's in really good shape. It got damaged a little bit here in the move because he brought them from the States, and having to package everything, I feel for it because I gotta do the same. I usually carry like the more valuable or easy to damage games in my carry-on. And yeah, so this is a remake, I believe. I don't know, the original game was maybe Genesis. But yeah, this is a remake, and again, the file on here that you'll see here is his original file, and again, it's complete in the box. Everything's in there, and yep, another game that I can add to my growing Game Boy Advance collection. And then one game that he had that I've never even heard of, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, I gotta get it. It's this one here, Aliens Infestation. I love the Aliens arcade game. I remember just wasting tons of quarters on that game just to hear like the beep, 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 and then the sounds of the machine guns, so unique. So yep, this game again is complete in the box. Everything's on there, and then he's already completed it. He completed it 100%. So I thought that was really cool. And now I'm gonna go ahead, unfortunately, delete his save so I can go ahead and play it because I've been dying to play this one, and it looks like a really fun game. And I've actually there's a person here selling the arcade. The Aliens arcade, and it has the guns, and it's in really good shape, and he only wants like $150. But the problem is trying to get it through that door, the front door. I don't think I can get it through there, and having to convince the wife to have that game in the house, that's another thing. So maybe in the future is something that if, I don't know, if we're able to get it through the door, it might be something that I'll look into and see if we can squeeze it through the door, and then I'll have the Aliens arcade game in the house. But that's a to be dated, or maybe a wish, a hopeful wish. Yeah, and then I just bought a bunch of other things here. I bought this, the Rode Wireless Go 2, which is what I'm wearing here, just to try it. I do like it. I just don't know how the sound will sound, so it's up to you guys. Give me some feedback, what you think about it. But it was really cool. Again, I'm using money that I'm making off all these things that I'm selling to kind of improve the quality of this channel, and hopefully you guys will like it. And yep, I sold a bunch of the loose games also, guys. I think I sold about over $1,000 of all the loose games. Maybe I'll put like a little list here. And as I had promised you guys, that money was going to be to buy myself some Super Nintendo games, because I do want to build my Super Nintendo collection of all the RPGs that I lost back in the days. So as I promised, I said I was going to pick up a couple of games, and I did. I picked up my favorite Super Nintendo game, Final Fantasy II. This is a game that I picked up at a pawn shop. I don't know, I think I was like 12 or 13 years old. It is complete in the box. I'll put the video here. As you can see, it's got the poster, all the leaflets, everything's in there. Manual's in really good shape. And again, just like the other games, the other guy, I asked this guy, he was a seller, I believe on Mercari. I asked him, hey, are these your original games? And he said, yeah, these are the original games he bought on launch day, or they were bought for him. And now I own them, and they're in really good shape all around. And this game right here, guys, so many memories with this game, Final Fantasy II. I bought it when I was 12, 13 years old. Didn't like it. I remember playing it at the beginning, and I was like, what is this? What's happening? I didn't like it very much, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna get rid of it. I just remember throwing it in the closet, just putting it away, and I said, one day I'll try it. And then one day I ran out of games to play, and I picked it up, and I was like, wow, this is an amazing game. It took me a little bit to learn it, but once I was hooked, guys. I loved it. I was coming home from school, finishing all my work at school, homework, chores, everything, so that I can play as much as I could on the Super Nintendo at the time. And I remember my friends coming over to see me to play this game, and they just loved the music, the characters. And for me, this just brings back so many memories, because at the time, you know, just the music was the writing, the characters, you just get hooked. And I just remember, you know, once the credits roll and you get that like really long ending, which is like 20-something minutes, it was one of the best feelings ever. And then a couple years later, this one came out, Final Fantasy III. Picked it up from the same seller, again, his original copy, in really good shape. You'll see the video here. It is complete in the box. It has everything in there. Again, his original saves are on there as well. And this one here came out, and I bought it from the mall. There was a shop at the mall. Sold it to me for almost, I believe, close to $100. I was a lot more expensive at the time. And my parents had a heart attack when they found out how much I paid for it. They tried to return it, and I remember calling the guy and say, don't give in, just tell them, no, you can't do it. They'll give in too, and just tell them, no, no, no. And eventually, they came back pretty angry at me for spending so much money on a game. But I mean, this game was amazing. I remember starting playing it, the intro, you know, just the music, the Magitech, the Moogles. And I remember taking it to my friend's house, and we sat there, and they were so hooked on it. And they wanted to borrow it, and I was like, oh, I really can't lend it to you, I just bought it. And so we did is we just kind of would play together at the same time, where I would go to their house, and then they had their own save, and they would play on it. So really cool stuff. Two amazing games, adding it to our collection, and they were, again, bought by nothing but profit from that Blue Box Challenge. I came back, and there was one game that I wanted to pick up on the Super Nintendo that they were selling locally. The guy wanted 1,000 RMB, which is, I believe, about $150, somewhere around there. And he took it down. I was like, oh, I guess he must have sold it. And but to my surprise, he put it on auction. So I was like, awesome. So I saw it on auction. I started bidding on it. He started the auction like at $15. And there was a few people and myself bidding for it. It got up to like $60. And it was just me and another guy bidding on it. And at the end, you know, the last couple of minutes, I bid on it. It was like $60, $70, close to 70. And I was like, this guy's gonna probably snake it from me right as soon as like the last minute come around. He did it. I won it for about $70. I did play this one, beat it on the Super Nintendo. Not one of my favorite games, but it's a Squaresoft game. I have memories with it. I can't remember too much of it, so this is one that I would love to play again. And it's complete in the box with everything in there. And yeah, just another awesome game to add to our collection. So we picked up some really amazing Super Nintendo games, and we're only getting started because there's so many more that I still want to pick up. I still want to get Chrono Trigger, and what else we got? Breath of Fire and Lufia, and a couple other ones that I want to add to my collection. And all that I'm just gonna be getting them with games that I flip. We'll probably restart the Blue Box Challenge, pick up some more games, and just get all these amazing games for absolutely almost nothing, guys. And yeah, so I already started, move some of these things over here. I already started picking up games, and here we go. We picked up Street Fighter versus Tekken. This one here did pretty well. I sold all the ones I took home. So I picked this one up here. This one was about, I believe I paid like $7 for it. Sells for about 30. Picked up Dead or Alive for about 15. I believe sells anywhere about $40. So these are really good games to be on the lookout for here, because it sells for 45, sells for about 33. And then there was a person who popped these two games up for really cheap. These two games together, I paid about $20. Dragon's Crown does pretty well, I believe about $15 to $20. Street Fighter about 33, so easy profit there. I found a sealed copy of Dragon Ball Z Shin Budokai. This one here I paid about 108 RMB, $15, sells for about 40 brand new. And this one here, I've already had good luck selling it, brand new. I took one home, sold it for about $120. Picked up another one brand new, so this one here I paid about, I believe, $53, and it could sell for $130, which was the last one that I sold. And then these I picked up for my collection. I don't have these two for my Wii U collection. Some person had them really cheap, so I picked them up for about 138 RMB, which is $19, and they're worth about $19 together. So again, traveling from GameStop all the way across the world to end up in my awesome collection. So just a bunch of really cool things, guys, to pick up, and I had a great time being home. But I think that what I'm gonna do just to kind of change the way that this channel is working is that I got lucky at the beginning, the first year, picking up tons of 3DS games back there for such a great price. And what I'm gonna do is just focus on picking up a bunch of great things for a great price, flipping that and just using the money at wherever I go, maybe at stores. Next time I go home, I want to visit those two stores Mr. Rightway is always talking about in Dallas, pick up a bunch of amazing games. I do want to visit one of those gaming conventions because they have tons of 3DS games that I can pick up there. So those are things that I'm looking at doing in the future, and just to expand the collection a little bit faster. So pick up good things, sell them for a good profit, use that profit to just buy the games that I need locally from either a store locally or another city or a video game convention. For sure, I will be looking to see if there's any conventions next time I go home during Chinese New Year. But what do you guys think? We picked up a bunch of amazing things, tons of games. I don't even know what's my favorite. I mean, this was amazing here. These Game Boy Advance games, plus this Aliens here. I mean, these games right here, these four here, the bundle, I paid about $238 for it, worth about $417. I mean, the guy gave me a really good deal. And he was looking at eBay prices and price charting, but he was still just cutting deals left and right. The more you bought, the more of a discount he gave. And I'm glad that they were able to get here in such a good shape. But anyways, guys, I had given away a 3DS to a particular viewer, and he never reached out. The guy never reached out. I even left a comment for him to go ahead and reach out to me on Instagram. He never did. I'm gonna give him about 5 days from this video, so hopefully he'll check his comments and see if he clicks on it and sends me something on Instagram. If not, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick another winner and give out that 3DS. So we'll see, guys. Maybe somebody will be lucky. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notifications, because we are definitely going to give away other games and other things. But first, let's see if this guy will respond to me so he can pick up that 3DS. If he doesn't, then I will go ahead and raffle that system out again and then give it out on the next video. Anyways, guys, until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you again.